Self-love is the basis for everything you do. It's literally the reason whether you're going to succeed in life or you're not going to succeed in life. And let me prove it to you, because let me tell you something. They lied to you about self-love. They told you that it's the reason that you keep failing. It's the reason why you attract trash situationships. It's the reason why you're stuck in cycles of pain. That reason is because you don't love yourself enough. And while that sounds cute and it sounds tweetable, let's be very real with ourselves. Life is way too complex to be reduced to a self-love Pinterest quote. Self-love is not a spa day. Self-love is not an Instagram caption. Self-love is not the magic cure-all for trauma and abuse. But here's the paradox, because there is a paradox. Self-love is still the foundation for everything you do. And if you don't learn what it truly means, you keep moving through life like a stranger to yourself. And honestly, that is extremely sad. Hi, my name is Blossom, and I'm here to make sure that you never settle for a life that's less than the life that you deserve. Now let's go to chapter 1, which is the myth and the misuse of self-love, because self-love is definitely being misused on the internet these days. And let's start with the internet narrative. The reason you went through that breakup, that toxic friendship, that job that drained your soul, is because you didn't love yourself enough. Really? Like, really? Do you see how dangerous that is? Yes, self-love plays a role. It definitely does. But telling a woman who went through abuse that it's because she didn't love herself enough, that is victim blaming. And I'm not saying that we are trying to remove accountability from this story. No, we're not. But there's a point where that becomes victim blaming, and it makes self-love feel like a punishment instead of liberation. Yes, sometimes people get themselves into tricky situations because they didn't love themselves enough to choose better. But other times, bad things just happen. Sometimes bad things just happen because people are wicked, because systems fail us, because patriarchy and the capitalism thrive of women doubting their own worth. You can love yourself deeply and still face heartbreak, betrayal, or pain, and it's not always your fault. It's not always your fault. And that brings me to chapter 2, which is the beautiful simplicity of self-love. Self-love is not this complicated thing that people talk about on social media. It's actually quite simple. One day on TikTok, I actually heard a quote that literally changed everything for me. They said, if you are trying to love yourself, you already do. And that shifted everything for me. It's like, because I was at that time, I was on a journey where I was trying to love myself. I was trying to understand whether I love myself. And that really made me realize, oh, the fact that I'm trying means I love myself. Like, literally think about that. The very act of seeking better for yourself, of even watching a video like this, is proof that there's love inside you already. Like, self-love is not a faraway mountain that you have to journey 1,000 miles to get to it. You are literally already practicing it by showing up for yourself. Google actually defines self-love as the practice of having a positive regard for yourself and taking care of your needs. That word practice is very important, because self-love is not a one-off moment. It's not, oh, I love myself yesterday, so I'm fine now. It's a habitual thing. It's like brushing your teeth, but instead you're brushing the teeth of your soul. I don't know. And it's not ego. It's not arrogance. It's not I'm better than everybody else. It's simply choosing to regard yourself positively, to not treat yourself like the enemy. That's literally what self-love is. That is all self-love is. And that brings me to chapter 3, which is what self-love really looks like. What does self-love actually really look like? And the mistake that we always make is that we reduce self-love to skincare routines, to candles, to face masks. And it's definitely part of it and it's cute, but that's not even scratching the surface. Yeah, I said what I said. Doing your skincare, self-care is not scratching the surface of self-love is, of what self-love is. Real self-love, the deep self-love, looks like exercising because your body deserves health. It looks like taking a break before you burn out, and before burnout takes everything from you. It looks like being disciplined with your work, because procrastination is low-key self-sabotage. It looks like saying no when something disrespects your peace. It looks like leaving the room, yeah, when someone treats you like you don't matter. That's literally what self-love is. Self-love is practical. It's not theoretical. It's showing up. It's doing the thing you promise yourself to do even when it's boring, even when it's hard. It's just showing up and doing that thing irregardless. And the kicker is that self-love opens doors. Once you love yourself, you will naturally choose better. You will choose better partners. You will choose better opportunities. You will choose better habits because love teaches you what you are worth. And once you see it, you can't unsee it anymore. You literally can't unsee it anymore. And I think that's the beautiful part of self-love. Like, it's not spoken about enough. Once you see it, you can't unsee it anymore. And that brings me to chapter 4, which is the hard truth of why you can't even fix self-love. You can't fake self-love. You can say I love myself all to the ends of the earth, but you can't fake it, and we can sense when you don't love yourself. And this is where I'm going to get a little bit controversial. If you don't love yourself, everything else in life will eventually fall apart. You can attract the perfect partner. You can land your dream job. You can even look like you're living the soft life. But if at the core you don't respect and love yourself, that is self-sabotage. Because the truth is that self-love is not the bonus or an addition, it's the baseline. And a baseline is non-negotiable. Everybody knows baselines are non-negotiable because it's literally the foundation for that thing you're talking about. That's what the word baseline literally means. And that brings me to chapter 5, which is how do you actually apply everything I've said into becoming the highest and best version of yourself? How do we actually apply everything I've said into your life? Because speaking is easy. How do we practicalize it? Let's end this series with a step by step. How do you actually practice self-love in a way that builds it as the foundation for everything in your life? I'm also pulling this from practical experience and from books I've read and podcasts I've listened to. So the first thing is to start with awareness. Notice where you've neglected yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's very important. Notice that. And then the second thing is to treat yourself with, compassion. If you mess up, don't drag yourself like as if you're dragging a toxic ex. Forgive yourself and move forward. That doesn't mean you don't take accountability, but you forgive yourself and you move forward. The third thing is to build routines that honor you. Like I said before, sleep when your body needs rest. Eat foods that fuel you. Work on your dreams that, light you up. The fourth thing is to set boundaries, even with yourself. Stop settling. Stop breaking promises that you made to yourself. It's disrespectful. And the fifth thing is to choose yourself daily. It's that means in love, in career, in friendships. If it's not aligned with your worth, you immediately let it go. This is the work, not the glamorous, Instagrammable, TikTokable thing, but this is the work. This is the life-changing work. At the end of the day, self-love is not selfish like people claim it is. It's survival. It's the foundation, the soil from which everything else grows. If you don't love yourself, nothing else will last. But once you do, everything will begin to align. So the real question is, are you going to love yourself enough to choose better, be better, and move better? Because self-love is not just the basis for everything. It's the beginning of becoming the highest and the best version of yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.